Hi guys, Peter Finch here, teacher professional down at Trafford Golf Centre in Manchester. And I'm doing a video today, yet again answering your questions, specifically today about swing rhythm and tempo and how important it is. Now I'm using the flight scope just to give you some more kind of in-depth data about what I'm doing, but swing tempo, swing rhythm is something I've worked hard at, and it's something which I consider very, very important because it allows you to do the same things time after time after time. You'll know in everyday life when you tend to rush something or when you're really lazy about something, if you go to the other end of the scale, you won't get things done consistently well. So having a nice, smooth, repeatable tempo is very, very, very important. Now what I'm going to do is I've got 10 shots here and I'm going to kind of talk you through a few drills and a few ideas that you can go away and try while I'm hitting these shots, trying to maintain the same tempo. Now, a lot of you guys have been very complimentary about kind of how I swing the club and about the tempo that I'm able to produce, but it is something I've worked at. It's not something which is so natural that I can just kind of go away and do whatever I want. It is something I specifically practice. Now, I've got 10 balls here. Like I said, I'm going to hit them away. Now, I'm going to try and share a few tips while I'm hitting it, and hopefully this doesn't disrupt my tempo. About what I've found works for me. I'm hitting a 6-iron here, by the way, guys. Now, one of the things I've always found which works best for me is imitation. So when I was kind of building my tempo, as I'm getting used to, and this is something I recommend to all kind of my players, is to try and picture a player whose tempo you admire. Now, when I was growing up, it was kind of Freddie Couples, Colin Montgomery. Those were the guys who really had a nice, smooth tempo. And what I used to do is just get videos of their swings and just try and imitate the tempo. And as I was able to swing and as I was able to imitate their tempo, I wasn't specifically trying to imitate their swings. I wasn't trying to imitate their swings, I was trying to imitate their tempo. Now that's a difference because everyone's swing is unique, but tempo and rhythm, good tempo and good rhythm, that's universal, baby. That is universal, and it's something that every player can deploy. So that's my first tip for you. Find a player you enjoy watching who has a good swing tempo. Jimmy Walker is probably my favorite at the moment. Just watch them, see how they swing, and then try and copy, try and imitate. Now, the second thing I used to do, and I still do to an extent, but it's become quite ingrained now, is just talk myself through the swing. So give myself a 1-2 tempo. Nice and smooth, nice and slow. Works exactly the same, it just gets you counting. So 1, 2. And I very rarely see people who do that kind of 1-2 count who actually spend 2 seconds swinging the golf club, because it's very hard to swing a golf club that slowly. But if you can count it through in your mind, just the 1, 2. So 1, 2 through, you'll see that it will slow you down quite considerably and just allow you to repeat the swing at the same pace. And that's kind of key, because as soon as you do speed up, the repeatable motion that you've tried to build will fail. It will fall at kind of a crucial point, so you do need to keep going. So 4 balls down, and it is certainly building the consistency that I want to be showing you guys. So we'll keep going. So there's one more. Not quite so pure. Not bad though, still a decent strike. Now, a lot of people have asked what you should be thinking about kind of technically, because everything there is just kind of imitation, just counting. The one key driver that I found of really nailing down a good, successful tempo is the hip turn. If you can control the speed of the hip turn, you'll be able to control most of the rest of the tempo. Now, to control the hip turn, from the top of the backswing, get that little bit of a movement towards the target, and then start to rotate the hips. The feeling I like to have is I'm rotating them quite powerfully, but smoothly. Power and smooth. Those are my two kind of key thoughts. So in the hip department, I'm not kind of slouching around. I do want to drive power, but I'm doing it in a very smooth manner. So I think about powering my hips, but I think about keeping them nice and smooth at the same time. Now, as you've probably picked up, guys, thinking about someone's swing rhythm, trying to imitate someone's swing rhythm, thinking about counting, thinking about rotating the hips powerfully but smoothly. If you thought about all those things, your head would probably explode and you wouldn't be able to hit the shot. So what I would suggest, a little bit of a push, that's a shame. What I would suggest is actually trying these individually, doing them one by one. Now lastly, the last thought I want you to have is about weight transfer. So a powerful and smooth hip rotation, but just allow yourself to get onto the front foot and get yourself in a balanced position. You'll find people with the smoothest swings often hold their finish position for the longest amount of time. It might be a coincidence, it might not. So if you are struggling with all those other thoughts, focus on holding your finish position for about 2 or 3 seconds. And if you can hold that finish position, it'll almost kind of slow the rest of your swing down and kind of almost not force you into a good rhythm, but really force you to almost slow down if you are going too quick and you are becoming unbalanced. Last one. Hold that finish position. So, pretty good shots there. A couple left and one off to the right-hand side. But I'll kind of talk you through my results here and really show you, hopefully, what I want. Yeah, this has been pretty much bang on what I want to show you. Now, I'll take some pictures and I'll talk you through these. First of all, pictures coming up now. If I take out number 5 here, my 5th shot was the slightly chunky one. So it carried a lot less distance than my other ones, and it kind of brings down the averages. So I'll allow myself to take that one out just because the strike wasn't good. The rest of the actual numbers isn't too bad, but I just want to make sure the carries and the total distances kind of tally up, and I want to take that fat shot out. So I'll take the fat shot away, and I will give myself these 9 shots to show you guys. Now just notice, I've kept my swing speed very, very, very similar. If you have a look down my club head speed, 92, well 93, 93, 92, 92, 92, 94, 93, 96, 92. All in the low 90s apart from that 196. And the one I deleted was a 92, I think, as well. So the average there is at 93 miles an hour, but look at the ball speeds as well. The ball speeds are very, very consistent. Now what that translates over to is a very consistent carry distance and a very consistent total distance as well. Now I've had a few pulls and a couple of pushes, nothing too catastrophic there. I think my last one was my kind of biggest one off to the left, and that would have definitely missed kind of a green. But everything else, the consistency there, the consistency levels is very, very, very high. And what that's actually allowed me to do is get so many more things consistent as well. My height, the actual height that the ball was traveling through the air, it dipped down to just under 90 once, but mostly everything else was 100 or just over 100. So keeping a consistent height through the air. It allowed me to keep my club paths quite similar, my angle of attacks quite similar, and it actually got my grouping, which I'll throw up here, pretty consistent as well. Now you can see most of these shots are pretty central or just off to the left-hand side. Now the wind here is pretty much down, and it does go slightly to the left-hand side as well today, which would account for a few of those. A couple were pulls, but the wind going across would account for that. And you can see the grouping is quite tight and quite consistent. And I'm pretty kind of pleased with most of those shots that I hit. And I'll kind of throw up some range views for you now of the trajectories and where they were all landing. Up we come. So that has been a bit of an insight into kind of my swing data, my swing numbers using the flight scope. And hopefully I've shared quite a few thoughts with you guys so you can go away, practice that, and work on those individually. Like I said, if you try and do all those at once, your head will probably implode. So try and do one of them at a time. Work on your swing rhythm, give it a go, and let me know. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please comment in the box below, let me know what you think. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter as well, and my other kind of social media platforms, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you down here very soon.